So let's move ahead with the next question in object-oriented programming questions and answers video series. What are classes and objects? So as we have said in our previous sections that classes and objects helps us to solve the problem of reusability. So rather than thinking in terms of functions, or rather than thinking in terms of technical functions, we think in terms of objects. So let's first start with defining what a class is and what an object is. Class is a template, it's a blueprint, or you can say that it is a plan. While objects are instances of the class. So you cannot use a class as is directly. If you want to use a class, you have to create an object of it. So you can think of that class is like a template, and in order to bring that template live into the application, you have to create an instance of the class, or in other words, you have to create the object of that class. Now let's first start with understanding that how you can write a class in C# and how you can create objects of the classes. So to define a class in C#, we use the class keyword. You can see that we have defined a class called as a CLS product here, and there's a function in this class called as getTotalCost. Now this is our template. Now in order to use this template in your application or in your UI, you need to create an object. So you can see that I have set CLS product, which is nothing but the class, the name of the object, and then saying new the class. So by using the new keyword, you can create objects in your C# application. So to define a class, you use the class keyword, and to define an object of that class, you use the new keyword. And then later on, once the object is created, you can then make calls to the functions. So over here, when I created the object called as obj, I can now call up the function in the object saying obj.getTotalCost, give whatever the value is, and get the output. So here's the actual code we have. You can see that we have defined a product class called as CLS product with the class keyword, and you can also see that we have defined a function called as getTotalCost, which multiplies the quantity and the per product cost. Now we have two UIs. One is our single entry UI, and what we have done is that we have created the object of product, and we have displayed the value in the text box by using the getTotalCost function. In the same way, in the functional 2, that is in my second screen where I'm going to do a data grid entry, over there also I have used my product class. So in other words, what we end up with is something like this. We are actually now not copy pasting the code in both of the UIs. We are basically creating objects of the same class. So in this way, we are actually reusing the same class or the same code rather than copy pasting the code again and again in different UIs. So in this way, we have increased reusability using object-oriented programming. Now, so if you run this project, you can get the source code from questpointvg.com. So if you run this project, you will see that if I enter, let's put the discount as 0 currently. So here's I entered one quantity, and let's say I entered 4, and I say calculate by object-oriented programming, I get 3. And the same code I have used in my second UI, which is a data grid entry. So again, the same thing here, and you can see that it calculates the total cost. So this one is more of a grid entry kind of a screen, while the first one is more of a single entry. But both of them use the same class, and because of this, we have decreased redundancy and we have increased reusability. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. So just summarizing what we talked about, classes and objects. Classes are templates, classes are prototypes, and in order to use classes in your project, you need to create objects. So objects are more of like instances of the classes, while classes are just blueprints or templates. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and in the coming up videos, we are going to discuss about encapsulation, we are going to discuss about inheritance, we are going to discuss about differences between abstract classes, interface, and a lot of things. I hope that even though this whole video series is basic, but you will still enjoy it even if you're a senior or even if you're a junior, because we have tried to stick to the basics and we have tried to actually show that what object-oriented programming is all about. So I will really request that you see only one video in a day. In case you are a fresher, just look into one video in a day, think about it, and understand the fundamentals. So see you in the coming up videos.